Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz and today I have a unique shaker for you. We're going to create a Fro-Yo birthday card with a fun shaker dome and then a spoon that you can move around inside that shaker to scoop up some of that blueberry topping. I love this one. I'm obsessed with this die set. It's called Fro-Yo Friends and it was designed by my friend and yours, Carrie Rhodes, who is known for her shakers. This die set is huge and we're only using parts of it, so I'll try to let you know what else is in here as we work through this card. But I'm starting with the cup that our Fro-Yo is going to sit in, and I want to create that illusion of roundness. So I'm using my blending buddy and I'm coming in from the side and pulling in some teal ink. It looks darker now than it will once that ink is dried, but I'm also going to do the same thing on this little piece. It's going to be the front of the cup as it curves around. It's sort of where your lid snaps onto. Then I'm going to add some inking for our lemon Fro-Yo. I have cut out of light yellow cardstock the base of it, and then in a darker yellow I cut the swirl. But there's a Fro-Yo Swirl stencil set. I'm only going to use one of the layers, but you certainly could stencil the entire thing if you wanted to. But I'm just going to go through everything with some yellow ink and then add the die cut layer on top of that. I'm using my Clingy Craftmate. It's like a big stamp really that's holding my die cut in place while I ink blend, keeps my hands nice and clean, and it washes off just like any other stamp. Little bit of ink on that spoon as well, and then we'll start our assembly. The swirl die cut is pretty thin and delicate, so I'm going over everything with the fine tip of my glue bottle, and then I'm going to tap off the excess. I'm using like a silicone mat, but you could use scratch paper, something you pulled out of your trash can, and then I will carefully lay that on top of the rest of our lemon Fro-Yo. I don't know about you, but when it is summertime out, I love lemon everything. Lemon pie, lemon ice cream, lemon ice. I am here for it. Then we have our little spoon, and I have actually stacked a couple of these up already. This is going to be 4 thick out of 100-pound cardstock. I want it to be able to move in my shaker, but I also want it thick enough that it's going to help keep all the shaker bits inside the dome, even though we're going to cut a little section out of it. I'm using my magnet to hold down the lemon piece with a perfect white border around the edges so that when I go to glue the cup down on that backer sheet, it's going to have the same border. It was easier for me visually to line everything up before I started adding glue into the mix. I love that little outline all the way around it, but you certainly could skip that. I just think it brings in the white from the dome so that it looks like everything coordinates and ties together. You certainly could do it in a different color if you wanted to. Once I have my Fro-Yo on top of there, I can add the other piece of that cup, that little blue piece that we ink blended earlier. I love that this sort of really emphasizes the fact that it is sort of three-dimensional, that it's holding the frozen yogurt. Then we can add our face and start working on our dome as well. So my spoon's gonna go up in the top, and for my face, I've cut the pink cheeks and the tongue out of the same shade of pink. I'm trying to tie in my colors in as many places as I can instead of having like 3 different shades of pink. I thought this was really nice. It leans just a little bit purple, and I love that because our blueberries aren't actually blue, right? They're more purple than blue. Then for our tongue and our eyes, they're super dainty, so I have a scribble of glue off to the side, and I'm just gonna tap those little pieces into the glue. So I'm not trying to stick that glue behind there with the tip of my glue bottle, and then I end up with a big old mess. One of my favorite things to do with my die cuts is to add faces onto things that didn't come with faces. It's a hamburger, why not make it a hamburger with a face? It's a carton of milk, make it a carton of milk with a face. This face with the tongue sticking out is one of my favorites of all the faces I have, so it's a keeper for sure. Then we're gonna work on the shaker dome. I have cut a bunch of layers of this white piece. On top of my acetate, I am adding 1 layer. It's 100-pound cardstock. And this, I have tapped the glue off again on my silicone mat just to make sure it doesn't ooze out, because when you're gluing onto something slick like acetate, it doesn't have anywhere to go. And I wanted to keep it as clean as possible. Then I have 2 stacks that I've already glued together that are 3 thick. It's so dainty. I didn't want to try to get foam tape behind that dome. So instead, I'm going to just stack it up with cardstock. In the end, it will be 6 layers deep. I've laid this on top of where I want my spoon to be, and I just made a little pencil mark, and I'm going to cut out that section. It has just a little bit of room around, so it can move, but not by much. You can see there the tiny little gaps. Then I will just line this up on top of the other stack and do the same thing. I didn't want to try to cut through 6 layers of 100-pound cardstock here, so that's why I did it in 2 sets. Then I will just once again add glue behind there, tap off the excess, and I can stack those 2 layers up together. I'm going to end up using really thin embellishments, sparkle spots, that are some of my all-time favorites. And so, yes, they could come out of that slot if you turn it sideways and shake real hard, but honestly, they don't for the most part. I've cut it pretty narrow around the spoon, and the spoon is also pretty thick, so it's going to work out just fine. I'm adding glue all over my stacked up layers with the slice cut out, and I'm going to tap off the excess. And now I have that lid piece upside down. So I'm actually gluing this straight onto the acetate side. And then on the front, we still have that single layer of our dome to make everything look nice and neat and to hide the glue as we're squishing everything together. I'm going to set that aside to dry. I don't want to try to add shaker bits in there while the glue may still be wet and things get stuck. So we're going to work on our background. This is the Skinny Stripe background stamp, and I just lined up my A2 sheet of cardstock 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 on top of that to make sure that it was straight on the stripes. I added some removable adhesive, and then I stuck that to the white insert in my MISTI. I'm going to use some black pigment ink, and we're going to get this beautiful black and white striped background. I love this look. It was super popular a while back, and quite frankly, if it was up to me, every card I make would have black and white stripes on it somewhere. I just think it's really striking and a lovely contrast to all these beautiful colors. So I'm going to stamp it twice, and I have way more than I need. I only need about 1 inch of this, but that way I can set it aside and I can use it on another card. So I'll just use a little pressure tool to make sure I'm getting nice contact. And then I will set this piece aside to dry as well. That pigment ink takes a little bit longer to dry than a typical dye ink. Then I have the Tomodachi stencil. This one's been out for quite a while, and it's really, really beautiful. It's all these hexagons with beautiful patterns on the inside. And there's a happy accident about to happen. I'm using a pinky purple ink and my purple blending buddy. And I cleaned off my blending buddy, but I didn't clean it completely. And so some of the bluish purple ink is still left in there. And you can see as I continue to ink blend, it goes from pinky purple to bluish purple. And I love the variation in color. I think if I tried to recreate that, I don't know if it would look as good, right? So a very fortunate, happy accident there. Then I'm going to bring in my blueberries. These are from this set, and I'm just coming in with some navy blue ink on top of like a dark pinky purple cardstock. Okay, that's kind of what like the inside of our blueberries look like once you turn them into jam or blueberry pancakes or whatever, and I love that. Then I have little scraps of navy cardstock that I will put behind the little hole that it cuts out. And then there's a little teeny tiny dot that you can put in the middle. I did save them. Look, if I had lost them, I would not have done this, but I didn't lose them, which is shocking, my friends. So I'm just gonna add that right in there as well. And then these are gonna be some accent pieces that go on top of the acetate, and they'll coordinate with our shaker bits that we're gonna put on the inside. I'm adding glue all over the back here, and I had made a little mark with my pencil so I knew where the corner was. That way it's going to be really easy to put it right back where I want it. And you can see I'm smoothing with my finger the glue all the way to the edges of that Fro-Yo. Again, I don't want my shaker bits to get stuck in the edges. Like if I don't glue it down all the way, they can get lodged behind there. And let me tell you, no amount of shaking is going to get them out. Then I have these purple sparkle spots. They're super thin, very sparkly, and a little bit shiny on one side. Then I'm going to sort of tape that spoon into my slot so it doesn't move while I'm adding glue. I don't want to accidentally get glue on the spoon, and I will add glue all over the edges of this white piece. I'm going to smooth that with my finger because I want it to go all the way to the edges. Sometimes when you are die cutting, especially if you cut into a magnetic mat or a soft mat of some kind, the bevel, the rounding of those edges can be so much that the glue almost is like sitting in a valley and it doesn't make great contact with your background. So smoothing that out with my finger really helped to make sure I was going to get great contact. Then I will add my 2 blueberries onto the top. I'm just dipping them into a little bit of glue. Then I will tap off the excess, and I'm creating a little bit of a triangle here. I have my spoon coming out in that sort of top right corner, and then from there you've got a little triangle that we're creating with the blueberries. There is a Sentiments Fro-Yo die set, and we're going to do Fro-Yo Birthday. And so the Fro-Yo is from that Sentiments Fro-Yo, and it has a shadow layer. So I'm just tapping the letters into the glue and then onto that shadow layer. But then I want to add the word birthday at the bottom, and the Funfetti Alphabetti die set is the same font, or at least close enough that they look like the same font to me. So I'm going to add Fro-Yo sort of centered on my dome, and you can see I have the letters for birthday right up above. So I'm going to take my time and I'm going to lay this out on the bottom and try to get my spacing just right. And then I have a little foam pad I've added underneath my card. I find when I go to pick things up with my tweezers, it helps if I can sort of press down a little bit on the card or whatever surface my letters are sitting on to pick them up. And I started in the middle to make sure everything was centered, and then I worked my way outwards, making sure I had the same spacing in between the different letters. Part of what I love about this alphabet die set is that it is really playful and fun, and so if it's not perfectly straight, it still looks right. I have cut off more of this stripe than I need, really probably about 1 inch, though this is more like 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches, and I'm going to line that up on the far left side of my card base. Then I'm going to pop up my main panel with some just 1 millimeter thin foam. I'm adding a little bit of wet glue on top of that foam so I get some float time and I can get everything lined up just perfectly. I'm going to focus on the top right corner, okay? Because I have that spoon sticking out, it would be really difficult to trim off of the right side, and I definitely don't want to have to trim off the fold, right? Because then I got to put it on a whole new card base and I'm starting my journey all over again. But we got it just right this second time. I'm going to press firmly on the back to make sure everything is in there just so. And that finishes up our unique fun shaker. I can move my spoon and scoop up my little blueberry goodies on the inside. Fro-Yo birthday, my friend. I hope that this inspires you. I hope you'll give a shaker like this a try. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.